Hold on to your hats, crypto enthusiasts. Bitcoin could soar to an incredible 500,000 by mid-2025, according to one analyst prediction on X. But don't celebrate just yet. Brace yourselves for some potentially scary dips along the way. With Bitcoin prices currently on shaky ground after a weekend plunge, the road to new highs may be bumpier than expected. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and let's start. And we're starting off with, the Bitcoin ETFs won't be able to acquire more than 10% of all the Bitcoin without triggering full-on hyper-Bitcoinization. How much coins are there that are potentially sellable to the ETF? Much coins we assume are burnt, lost satoshis, or held by Sailor Winklevoss, who we are sure won't sell in a short time. I think they've got nearly 4% now since Grayscale started with 3%, and I doubt there's another 6% for sale under $1 million. The next one we go for, the more Bitcoin that moves into ETFs, the more vulnerable Bitcoin becomes to catastrophic crash. That's because ETF buyers are more likely traders than true believers, so if Bitcoin is going up, they'll go along for the ride, but once it enters a bear market, they'll bail it out. Also, Bitcoin, my original thesis of correction during the winter was wrong. Now, instead of starting the rally April 1st, I think that's when the correction starts. Then we continue towards 80k in the fall, and if we pump all summer, even if better, but trying to stay level-headed. DXY waiting patiently for you to dump your dirty fiat bastards. The argument that Bitcoin will be hoarded is flat wrong. The funny thing is that a view is often expressed by economists or people who have studied economics. So what they get wrong is something obvious, which is also taught in economics as the law of marginal utility. For example, if you've worked hard and saved up to buy a house, that house created a lot of utility. You're ecstatic to finally have a home, but let's say you hit it big and 10 years later you have 4 homes. The first house plus a beach house, a ski house, and a villa in Tuscany. So the 5th house you buy won't create anywhere near the joy and happiness you felt when you got the first home. Similarly, if the average person makes their first $1 million on a deal, it feels great. But do you think that Bill Gates still feels the same joy every time he makes another million? Of course not. When you have a lot, the marginal utility of each dollar you earn diminishes greatly. And if I'm sitting on a fat stack of coins and Bitcoin gets into the millions per coin, you best believe I'll take some profits and spend some money on shit I've always wanted to do. I can't take it with me, right? This is why Bitcoin will always circulate. Those who got in early will always redistribute their coins into the economy because they have more than enough for multiple lifetimes. Next one, there are maybe 1 million people that have a full Bitcoin, but today if you are in the top 1 million wealthiest people in the world, you're likely worth $40 million plus. So Bitcoin completely recalibrates our economic system, and most of you are still not bullish enough. And as well as there are thousands of plebs on the internet that no one knows who have more Bitcoin than entire nations, billionaires, millionaires, and S&P 500 companies. Do not give them your Bitcoin, you're early, don't forget it. Indeed, the allure of accumulating wealth through the Bitcoin can be enticing, but we must tread carefully in this volatile landscape. Trust is the potential of Bitcoin's future and remain steadfast in your early participation, wisely guard what you have acquired. That's the basics. So this is how the hyper-Bitcoinization will happen. Wall Street will continue to buy all Bitcoin available. The price will be driven up until all people that don't understand Bitcoin will sell to take the profits in fiat. Countries will compete with Wall Street to get the coins from these people. And when only people that understand Bitcoin holds it, we reach a point where Wall Street and countries are not able to buy Bitcoin with fiat currency. And at this point, we'll get a Bitcoin standard because central banks will print fiat to shred to make a last push to shake out those that have understood Bitcoin. People who understand Bitcoin the most keep talking about it because they can see where this is going and they want others to prepare. No, most people have zero exposure, don't want you to get wrecked in the legacy system, remarket it turning into the Ponzi scheme. Know what any coin owned by US are coins that banks can't own. And I was very adamant that my close friends and family all have at least 0.1 Bitcoin for exposure, so once they get some skin in the game, most of them kept buying more and more because they continue to dive into the financial system and what a scam fiat is. As well as Bitcoin is better than gold in almost every way possible. So Bitcoin is better than gold in almost every way possible. Bitcoin has absolute scarcity with 21 million hard cap, while gold stock to flow inflation is about 1.5 to 2% a year on average. After April halving this year, Bitcoin stock to flow inflation will officially be below that of gold and will become hardest asset ever by definition. So Bitcoin is faster than gold and extremely portable. You can send $1 billion from New York to Tokyo and have its final settlement in 30 minutes. Bitcoin is easily verifiable on the blockchain if the fund is there or not. Gold often has to be melted down or cut to verify there is no tungsten inside, and then the sellers charged a re-smelting fee. So Bitcoin can be divided down to 100 millions of Bitcoin and transmitted at such infinitesimal amounts. Network fees can, however, make transmission of a tiny amounts uneconomic, as this is where Layer 2 and eventually Layer 3 comes in, and gold is very difficult to do so without incurring additional cost. So both Bitcoin and gold are fungible and durable, with gold having the longest established history as a monetary good. However, gold is a poor store of value whose price has been largely the same over the past decade against the rampant inflation, while Bitcoin has seen explosive, albeit extremely volatile, growth and adoption in the same amount of time. Bitcoin, despite its short existence, has weathered enough trials in a 15-year market that there is a high likelihood it will not vanish as a valued asset anytime soon. Furthermore, the Lindy effect suggests that the longer Bitcoin remains in existence, the greater society confidence that it will continue to exist long into the future. And aside from being a dumb shiny yellow rock used in jewelry, art, and electronics, gold is inferior to Bitcoin in nearly every way. As gold is stuck in the ground, Bitcoin is stuck in time. It's time we embrace the future. Stay humble, stack sats. Thanks for listening to my TED Talk. So, Bitcoin analyst targets 500k but warns of a scary dips. Bitcoin is shaky. The analysis is when Bitcoin prices appear shaky, characterized by sharp correction, and over the weekend prices plunged lower, denting confidence after a weak conclusion on Friday. Prices are yet to recover, trending below the psychological $70,000 level. And even amidst this, the analyst says people should hold on tightly, relaying confidence that the only way for the world's most valuable coin is up. To support this outlook, the analyst compares Bitcoin price action and the historical trajectory of gold following the launch of gold exchange-traded funds (ETFs), and at the current rates, and despite a lull over the weekend, Bitcoin is outpacing gold's historical growth pattern, as this preview suggests that, like gold, Bitcoin could rally over time. And from this projection, the analyst thinks that only will bulls shake off the current weakness, but see prices rally near 7x from current rates of 500,000, following a similar path of gold's trajectory. But there also could be some dips, and we might see a decrease, and possibly both things could happen, and we just gotta be cautious. So that's kind of all the information we got on today's video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you in the next one, and peace.